Police investigating the island's latest homicide. The Minister of State for Grand Bahama taking a look back at the year 2018. And the classic dancers jumping a group ready for the parade route.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Wolf-Arkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news just 2 weeks before the end of the year, and the murder count has climbed up a notch as the body of a male was discovered in a quiet community here on Grand Bahama. Tonight, police officials are asking for anyone with any information to come forward. Police officials combing the streets of Inagua Avenue to discover further details into the death of the island's latest homicide victim. According to officer in charge of Central Detective Unit Superintendent Brian Roll, they were notified around 10 a.m. Tuesday morning about a lifeless body inside a home in a relatively quiet neighborhood.
As a result of that, officers were sent to the scene where they discovered a male who appeared to be lifeless, just recently pronounced dead at the scene here, lying on the ground, suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the upper body. During the initial investigation, we're still trying to establish some things. As soon as we get more information, we'll be sure to inform the public.
While tight-lipped on the circumstances surrounding this case, Roll did tell members of the media that the victim is believed to be in his 40s.
It's a black male, believed to be of Haitian nationality, but it will be further determined as we investigate more. I can say that I think he's well known in Grand Bahama, and once we are ready to release that information, persons will know who we're speaking about.
A woman who wished not to be identified says she's lived in the area commonly referred to as the Ridge for over 30 years. She is in shock that this murder took place just a few feet away from her home.
I've been here for 30 years and it's very quiet. Everybody know each other and everybody look out for each other. The gentleman was only hailed and I don't know his name.
Does it surprise you that something like this took place in this area?
Yes, very. When I wake up this morning, I was shocked. Yesterday morning, I wake up to somebody cleaning this yard.
And then when you got up this morning, you would have been...
When I got this morning, I went out. No, nothing was happening. When I came back in, I see yellow tape. When I come back in, yellow tape. I don't know who else lived there, who's there.
But usually you'll see this person by himself.
Yeah, but he's from a distance. Right. Always from a distance.
Anything else you would like to add?
No, I'm just sorry that it happened this time of the year, you know. And I'm sorry for the family. But it's a very quiet neighborhood, very quiet.
Thank you.
And we always pay attention to people walking up and down. We see the gentleman there, we'll watch him walk straight out the neighborhood. We always watch them, you know. I don't know.
Police officials are appealing to anyone who may have seen or heard anything or who may know the person or persons responsible for this crime to contact them as soon as possible. Also from police tonight, 6 males arrested for possession of marijuana. The group was arrested on Monday evening on John Rott Lane in Hudson Estate after they reportedly were found in possession of 10 pounds of marijuana at an estimated street value of $10,000. Investigations are continuing. In other news, the Minister of State for Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, highlighting some of the major investments made on the island in 2018. His reflections came during a special year in review by the Office of the Prime Minister in Grand Bahama. He says through these investments, a number of job opportunities have been made available for Grand Bahamians. Italia Hall reports. The Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, giving an overview of investments on Grand Bahama over the past year. Among them, the Seawood Fishing Village. The developers have made a commitment to relaunch the business. He says government programs such as Fresh Start and Labor on the Blocks were a success, as many persons were able to receive employment. The small business program was another plus, as some 197 persons were enrolled in the program and were able to develop business skills.
Out of that 197 persons, we gave 87 persons in Grand Bahama small business grants to the tune of over $370,000 were given to our small businesses right here in Grand Bahama through this program.
He says there were new investments and expansions like Paradise Cove and Falco Marine, which cost a total of $1.4 million each, Gombe Land at $500,000, and Elnat Maritime, which is in the process of expanding, at a cost of $2.5 million.
We also saw in March a program that was started out of this office, the Youth APRI program, where there was a group of about 30 young people who were trained in beekeeping and trained in honey production, and this was the second phase of the program. They had completed their phase last year, and this year they actually incorporated themselves into a cooperative, and they were given funding from the Bahamas Development Bank to go ahead and start their own business.
The minister says the groundbreaking for the eco oil development at a cost of $10 million was another success for the island.
We also saw in June the opening of GIBC, which was one of our first tech businesses. They've come in, they've hired approximately 30 persons here in Grand Bahama, and they've opened an office in New Providence. This year we also saw in June the announcement of our very own Bahamian Home Fabrics, which opened in Freeport. It was a $2 million investment. They made their announcement, they invested their money, they have opened their store, and they have hired Bahamians to work in their store here in Freeport.
An historic agreement was also signed between the Grand Celebration and the Grand Bahama Taxi Union,
which gave a clear indication of what taxi drivers are supposed to get at the harbor and what tour operators are supposed to get at the harbor. This is a continuing process. So it is not yet completed, it is not yet settled, but we are happy that this first step has been completed, and we continue to work with the celebration, we continue to work with the taxi union in making more opportunities available.
Minister Thompson says 2018 was a big year for infrastructural projects on Grand Bahama, among them repairs to the Garnet Lavarity Justice Center. Now work at the courthouse is expected to shift into high gear during the Christmas holidays. It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Talia. Well, the Grand Bahama Power Company giving an update on ongoing plans to improve service throughout the island. Tonight, an official shares how areas impacted by previous storms are already experiencing fewer outages. The Grand Bahama Power Company is receiving less complaints regarding high electricity bills, according to Dominique Pinder, Customer Relations Manager. She explains why their customer education program can be credited for this.
Our customer education program, so a lot of customers are now well versed in what is energy, how are the bills calculated, how to read their meters, how to conserve energy, what appliances pull the most power. Come in and ask questions, sit down with a customer service clerk. And so we found that in us talking to customers and offering them that exceptional service, we're able to answer their questions and help them to better manage their usage, which impacts your bills.
Pinder says that GBPC is also undergoing a 3-year preventative maintenance plan that started back in 2017. The plan came about after Hurricane Matthew affected particular areas on this island.
We invested $5 million in improving our transmission and our distribution lines. And so what that entailed was we came up with a list of areas that would have had the most outages in 2017. We started with those targeted areas. What did we do? We investigated. We went to every line, checked every connection at every home in those areas, changed them out so that we can see the changes in our transmission and distribution system. So far, we would have seen improvements in the amount of outages from the transmission and distribution side. for example, in areas such as the 8 Mile Rock area and Malibu Reef.
But those weren't the only areas affected. She notes that GBPC has also partnered with an international contractor to assist them in making repairs.
Boodle Bay West and Pindus Point, Coral Reef, the Ridge, the Mayfield Park area, and we would have made improvements on the lines, the connection, so every line, every connection going to every home, and then we would have also assessed the poles on the island after Hurricane Matthew. What are the troubled areas where poles need to be replaced or changed out? And so we would have contracted Pike to assist our GBPC team in helping with the pole change-outs as well as the change-outs of the lines on our transmission and our distribution system to improve the quality of power to our customers.
The preventative maintenance program comes to an end in 2021. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.